Not gonna lie, this is probably going to be a pretty tough video to make because over the last few years, you've probably seen people saying things online like digital products are dead, the market is too saturated, it's way too late to get started. And I want to be honest with you here, I am not here to fearmonger by any means, but the reality is that things in the digital product space have absolutely changed. Since around 2020, the economy has changed drastically. AI has exploded, and because of that, more people than ever before have started selling digital products. Not to mention the way that people grow audiences online has drastically changed. So today I'm here to answer the question honestly and thoroughly. Is it still worth selling digital products in 2026 and beyond? Because the short answer is it's complicated. So let's go ahead and dive into what's actually happening in the digital product space today. And first, let's roll back a little bit to talk about the 2010s because selling digital product in the 2010s was extremely different than it is right now. Back between 2010 and 2019, the process to successfully sell digital products was quite simple. You would start a blog, write a blog post weekly, promote your blog posts on Pinterest, and maybe run some paid ads. And that traffic right there would grow your email list. Then you would mention your freebies and digital products in your blog posts and to your email list, and you would make sales. Now, what's interesting is that lead generation or traffic was actually easier back then, but creating the digital product itself was much harder. There were no low cost or free softwares like Canva, or at least not like there are today. And there certainly were not cheap softwares with free tiers to get started like System.io. Back then, I was paying thousands of dollars a year for software like Photoshop, and WordPress was quite complicated, would get hacked all the time, and quite honestly was a huge pain in the butt. And AI like ChatGPT and Claude didn't even exist. So if you wanted to write and create a digital product, you had to do it all yourself from scratch. Then have people proofread it, then have people edit it, and often go ahead and pay designers hundreds or thousands of dollars to go ahead and design the digital product. So back then, the real challenge was actually creating the product, whereas getting the traffic to your digital product was easier. And today's situation is almost the complete opposite. Creating a digital product today is unbelievably easy. You can literally create your own digital product from scratch in an hour, maybe 2 hours. You can use AI tools like ChatGPT, Claude, or Gemini. You can design it yourself for free in Canva. Of course, there's tons of templates already made as well, which really speeds up the process. And then, of course, there's free software like System.io, where you can get started and make your first sales completely for free with their free tier, where you can create your own checkout page for free, your own website for free, your own email marketing, your own product hosting, everything for free. You can literally just type out a ton of notes and then feed it into an AI like ChatGPT or Claude, and it can format and write the entire ebook, workshop, course, or membership for you. So from a digital product creation standpoint, things right now are easier than they've ever been. But the real challenge in today's market is traffic. Platforms like blogging, Pinterest, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok just simply don't perform in the way that they used to. Not to mention the cost of ads has quite literally skyrocketed. Now that doesn't mean these things don't work at all, but what it does mean is these things do not work the same way they did 10 or even 5 years ago. And yes, of course, there are more people today selling digital products than there was in the 2010s, which does mean you have to do more to stand out. But here's something super important that most people are not talking about. Whenever something gets harder, most people quit. In the past, you could just write a blog post and make sales by never even having to be on video or really showing your face outside of some photos. But what I've learned over time is this: no matter what the platform is, you're always going to need to stand out. And today that often means going that extra mile. After trying just about every platform in 2021 and 2022, so again, Facebook, blogging, Pinterest, Instagram, TikTok, I realized they simply just were not bringing in enough traffic and enough sales. So that's when I started experimenting with YouTube. And yes, YouTube is more work. You have to research the topics, write scripts, film video, record audio, edit the content, and not to mention the best thing to do on YouTube is long form content like this, which is obviously going to take more time than a quick little trendy reel would. It is definitely more work than writing a blog post. Trust me, I know that is how I originally got my traffic back in 2014 when I started selling digital products. But here's why YouTube being harder is actually an advantage. Because YouTube is harder, most people just simply won't do it. Most people are looking for that lazy, easy strategy where you can make $1 million yesterday, which, spoiler alert, does not exist. Which means if you're willing to do the work, if you're willing to do what it takes to succeed with digital products today, there is actually less competition than there ever has been before. And that's exactly why YouTube has become the core of my digital products business today. Because even though some things are harder today, other things are dramatically easier. For example, you can get started creating and selling your own digital products today for free. You can create them for free using the free version of AI like ChatGPT and design it with the free version of Canva. And like I shared earlier, the software I use, System.io, has a free tier, not a free trial, a free tiers. So you can create a checkout page, a website, a sales page, grow your email list, and make your first sales for free. There is a link in the description below my video if you want to get started on the free tier of System.io. And again, back in the 2010s, none of that would have been possible to do that easily, let alone for free. Another big difference is that people today actually understand what digital products are. Back in the 2010s, you not only had to sell your digital product, but you also had to educate people on what digital products were. People didn't understand what they were buying. They didn't know what an ebook was. Today, people are very familiar with things like ebooks, workshops, courses, and memberships. So in many ways, there's less competition and the market is actually more ready to buy. And if you want help learning how to build your own profitable digital products business step by step, I'm going to walk you through the full strategy in my totally free online training. It is linked in the description below this video. Now, one question I've been getting constantly lately is why would anyone buy a digital product when they can just ask ChatGPT? And yes, AI can certainly give you answers, but have you noticed something? AI strategy is almost never good. It's simply collecting random information that it's found from the internet. It's not a real person, and it doesn't have real life experience. It hasn't built businesses, and it certainly hasn't made mistakes in the business world. Well, other than a lot of times getting information completely wrong when I fact check it, but that's neither here nor there. The most important thing to know when it comes to digital products is people are not buying them for the information alone. They're buying them for the transformation. They want to learn from someone who is where they want to be, someone who's actually done it before, someone who can give them a real world right now strategy, someone who can guide them for where they've been before. That's also why I personally moved towards the membership model for my digital product, because inside of my membership, we have a full step-by-step program, but we also have a 750 plus community of other creators and weekly Q&A calls with myself and my team. And things like an active community and live Q&A calls are things that AI just can never replicate, but it has not removed the need for real experience and real expertise. So, is selling digital products actually worth it in 2026 and beyond? Personally, I believe yes. Because if it wasn't, I certainly wouldn't still be doing it. Last year, I paid myself around $225,000 from my digital products business. Then in January of this year, I took another $70,000 bonus from the profits from last year. So I paid myself roughly around $295,000 last year. So this is not revenue that my business made. This is the money that I pulled out to pay myself, right around $300,000 last year. Meanwhile, I took most of July off to go to Wisconsin to visit friends and family. I took most of September off to go to Netherlands, Belgium, and Germany with my husband. And in Q4 of last year, we did 3 launches in a row. So we did a launch in November, December, and January. So in February, I decided to take the entire month off because I was pretty burnt out. And that is really the best part of digital products, is not just the money that you can make from it and the people that you can help, but the freedom that it actually gives you. So I took that month off. I did still do my Q&A calls for Freedom Creator Club. I'm not going to leave my students hanging, but I took the rest of the month off, and my best friend from middle school flew in and we road tripped all around New Mexico. It was super, super fun. We went to Truth or Consequences, which feel free to Google why that city is named Truth or Consequences. It's kind of funny. And then we road tripped to White Sands National Park, which if you don't know what that is, Google it. It is so freaking cool. Then we went to the world's largest pistachio, which was really, really fun. And then we drove back. We did tons of things around Albuquerque and Santa Fe. It was just so much fun. We ate a ton of good food, went on great walks. We also went to a nature preserve and we saw an elk. It was like the coolest thing ever. It was such a great time. And now I feel so much more refreshed to come back to work. So if you're feeling burnout and you have the opportunity to take time off, go for it. You do not need to constantly be hustling. Oh, and I also don't work Fridays anymore either, which is really, really nice because I feel like I need a day to kind of like schedule personal appointments when people are actually at work, because otherwise on Saturday I call and they're all closed, and yeah, you get the picture. So I get to set my own schedule. I get to work flexible hours. I get to help thousands of people all around the world and get paid great money. And to me, the combination of income and freedom am is what is so powerful and what keeps me selling digital products because I just love it so much. One interesting lesson I learned though is profit versus revenue. From around 2018 to 2020, I scaled my digital products business aggressively. We went from basically closing all of our old digital products and starting from zero to going to $2 million a year in 1 year, which I'm extremely proud of, but I was focused way more on the revenue and the growth than the actual profit. So even though the revenue grew dramatically, what I paid myself was still around $300,000 per year, which is good, don't get me wrong, but when you scale, it's more work, and so you should make sure that the profit follows. But it did teach me something really important. I would personally rather run a smaller, simpler, more high profit business that supports my lifestyle rather than a massive company that runs my life. And the best part of running a business is you get to choose your own path. That is what I have found works best for me. So again, to answer the original question, is it still worth selling digital products in 2026? Yes, of course. But it is going to require a slightly different strategy than it would have 10 or even 5 years ago. You're going to need to focus on standing out, building your own audience, providing real experience, and going that extra mile. Because if you can do that, there is still incredible opportunity here. And if you're ready to get started and go deep with this, inside my membership Freedom Creator Club, we're going to walk you through the exact strategies step by step that are working right now, today, for creating and selling digital products profitably. Again, it includes my step-by-step trainings, our active community of other digital product creators, weekly Q&A calls with myself and my team, not to mention all of our templates and scripts so that you can get this done as quickly and easily as possible. You can learn more about all of this in the link in the description below this video. So now that you know whether selling digital products is still worth it in 2026 and beyond, you might be wondering which digital product you should actually get started with, but how do you do that? Well, it all starts with watching this next video here, because when you pair what you just learned with what's in this video, it's going to be way more powerful. See you in the next one.